Okay, everybody, so we want to do a little bit of practice with Cami, and then also, while we do that practice with Cami, you'll get to learn a little bit about me, and then by you completing this assignment, I'll get to learn a little bit about you. So, in your classroom, you'll have this interest inventory posted, and we want to open it with Cami. You can either hit this and hit annotate with Cami, or you can hit this blue button in the upper right corner, open with Cami. Takes a few moments to open it. Okay, and there we go. So you'll see I just have a few questions for you here, just trying to learn a little bit about you. So what I'll do is I'll fill this out, and then so you'll learn how to use Cami, and then you'll fill yours out so that I can learn a little bit about you. So you'll notice after each question I just put in parentheses what tool I want you to use. So up at the top where it says name, we want to use the drawing tool. Under the drawing tool, you can change the thickness here. You can change the color down here. I like blue, so I'm going to stick with blue. And then whenever you're ready to draw, just use your stylus or your finger to draw right on the screen whatever you want to write. Okay, so my name is Mr. Fowler. Pleasure to meet you. Number 1, is there a name other than what is listed in school tool that I'd rather be called? So I'm going to go to the text box tool. You can change the size of the text here. You can change the color of the text here. I'll let you mess around with that. But when you're ready to type, just click wherever you want the text to show up in the document, and then type whatever you want. So I'll say, if you don't want to call me Mr. Fowler, you can call me Mr. F. Number 2, what activities am I involved in? This can be in school, out of school, or work. So we've seen the text box and the drawing tool. So let me show you the image tool. So if you go down here to image, you've got a few options. This file folder shape allows you to upload something from your computer. Here you can get something from your Google Drive. Here you can do a Google image search. So I actually have the photo that I want in my folder here. And I'll go with this one. So it'll bring up this image. You just got to click a spot where you want it to be in the document. It'll put it right there for you. And then if you switch over to the select tool up at the top and the hand tool, you can drag on this little blue dot. You can drag to resize the image. So hopefully you can see from this image that I like to mountain bike. Number 3, how would I describe my attitude towards math? And you can use the drawing or image tool. And I am just going to use the drawing tool, and I would say that I love it. It makes sense. I did not always feel that way. It wasn't until I took college algebra as a junior in high school that math started to make sense and it really started to click. And it was at that point that I decided I might want to make a career out of something math related. So if you don't like math until this point in your life, that's okay. I'm not saying it's going to change, but it could. I hope that I can share my passion of the subject with you this year. Number 4, what type of music do I listen to? What are some of my favorite artists or bands? We're going to use the text box tool. Without a doubt, Chris Stapleton, country music artist, one of my favorites. Another band, kind of a folk band called Mandolin Orange. The Brothers Landreth. They're a Canadian kind of rock band. The guitar player is just insane. And let me see, one more. Amos Lee I'll go with. Amos Lee's kind of like a singer, songwriter, folky kind of musical artist. Jumping down to number 5, what are some of my favorite television shows or movies? I'll use the image tool for this. I'm going to hit this G to do a Google image search. And one of my favorite shows is Parks and Recreation. So I'll just search that and find the image I want. I'll just take their logo here. Poster right there. Okay. Have I ever taught myself how to do something? If so, was it? I try to spend most of my summers away from teaching, learning something new each year. And a couple of years ago, I taught myself how to build guitars. I use the text box tool for that, and I'll actually post an image of the guitar that I built for myself. That guitar started as individual boards from a tree, and I cut them, shaped them, sanded them, painted them to make that guitar that you see in that picture there. Is there anything that you need to know in order to make this year more successful? I'll say that I am building a house this year. So I'm hoping to be in that house around December. So might be a little hectic with moving and things at that point. It's never fun to move in the winter. Just some life advice for you. And lastly, what is one goal I have for myself this year? And that is to use technology effectively in the classroom. I kind of consider myself an old school teacher. I like a chalkboard or a smartboard, just be able to write on it. Never really let you down. But with the way things are in the year 2020, I'm going to have to learn some new technology tools. And I just want to make sure they're effective. The goal out of all of this is to make sure that you all learn and have a successful year. So that completes my interest inventory. Go up here to the turn in button. I'll click on that. Click on turn in. It'll take a few moments. It's going to save it to your Google Drive first, and then it should transfer you over to the Google Classroom page. And it'll ask you one more time to turn it in. And you will say turn in, and then you are all done with your interest inventory. Hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.